or whatever, right? So, yeah, he's like, we should have you guys on. I'm like, well, not me, but Paul.
There we go.
Hi.
I was at the Atlanta session.
Oh yeah,
years ago.
I remember.
I haven't brought beer.
Hello. Great to be on the show.
Between the two of you could
Tim Tams, my goodness.
decide.
Go wild. All right, I'm starting to make a collection of things here.
Yeah, that's correct. I actually focused on Office 365 administration right before moving to the Microsoft Teams marketing
What are you
team.
doing here?
And there were several reasons why I made that move. On the one hand, I was actually using Teams as a personal user. I was just using it every day, so I was just really excited about the product itself, because it was just really changing the way how I was working and collaborating with other people. The other reason why I moved to the Teams team was also that I was so excited about what Teams can actually do for our customers. Like when you think about the way how you work, for example, how often does it happen that you search for a file that somebody attached maybe to an email, maybe somebody shared a SharePoint link with you? It is really hard to find that one file that somebody shared with you 2 weeks ago. Microsoft Teams makes it so much easier because it gives teams a central location that brings together everything a team needs. And that includes people, chat, conversations, files, and tools as well. And also then, when we think about from a collaboration perspective and how people use their devices today, let me actually ask you a question, and this is a little bit of a personal question, that's okay, right? And everybody here in the audience as well. How many of you checked their phone this morning before getting out of bed? You can admit it, yeah. So I do the same, right? So, and when you think about this, this is a little bit weird, but it shows how the way how we're using devices has completely changed over the last couple of years. Many people live on their devices, and that is also really important from a Teams perspective, because we wanted to make sure that people have a good experience no matter which device they use. And so if you are already using Microsoft Teams, you will actually know that we have not only a really great desktop experience and a great mobile client, but we also have a really great cross-platform experience. So also if you're using Microsoft Teams on the Mac, or if you're using Microsoft Teams just on the web, the desktop client and the web client, they are actually almost identical, and we roll features out simultaneously across both of them. And the third reason why I wanted to move to the Teams team, that's even more, I know, I don't even know where to get started, but it's the engineering team, like the people that work behind the product. It's amazing people, and the passion that they have for the product and the passion that they have for evolving and transforming the way how our customers collaborate and communicate. That was the third reason why I really wanted to work on that product.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting point, because we were talking off camera before how Microsoft Teams isn't a little silo product all of its own. So it has so many hooks and integrations into the other Microsoft products that we already use.
Exactly.
Great. Okay, so let's talk about some of the announcements, because it seems here at Microsoft Ignite there's something for everybody with Microsoft Teams, whether you're a frontline worker or you're an IT pro. So first, you've added some enhancements to the meetings experience.
That's correct. So many of you will probably have heard the announcements yesterday, especially in the meetings area. We announced that background blur, which is a capability that allows you to blur your background. And for example, if you have like children running around, or let's say you're working from a coffee shop or a golf store like place, right? Like you can now blur your background, and that is a capability that is now available for everybody. We also announced that meeting recording is now available for everybody. And meeting recording allows you to easily not just record a meeting in Microsoft Teams, but then it is automatically stored in Stream. So when you watch the recording directly in Teams, of course, you can easily fast forward, you can easily search for keywords, and you can even switch on closed captioning and search for keywords as well. And then we also announced some new capabilities that are coming that I'm really excited about. Driving mode on the one hand, when you're actually using Microsoft Teams in your car, sometimes, yes, you have to join a call in your car, but you don't need all of the capabilities. And driving mode will provide you with a simplified UI for that. And also proximity join. And that is another feature I'm really excited about, because it happens to me all the time that I need to present a PowerPoint in a conference room, and I have to ask somebody else, hey, could you please click forward on my laptop and advance the slides? With Proximity Join, I can use my mobile device as a companion device, and then I can actually drive the content directly from my phone.
That's super exciting. It feels like not only have you achieved parity with the features that we've expected
In the Skype for Business client, but you've actually taken that completely to the next level. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so what about some of the new content collaboration features?
As you mentioned earlier, actually, right? What is so special about Teams is that it is really the hub for teamwork that brings together all these tools that you're using on a regular basis. And it enables you to communicate and collaborate in a more effective way. So we have a very, very tight integration with SharePoint. We've had that from the very beginning. Microsoft Teams is actually built kind of on top of SharePoint and on Office 365 group. So whenever you create a team, we create an Office 365 group, and we also create a SharePoint team site for you so that you can easily share files. And now we announced that we'll have a tighter integration between Microsoft Teams and SharePoint so that you can use all the rich capabilities that we have in SharePoint directly in Teams. We also announced that soon you will be able, when you collaborate with people, to directly share your screen from a private chat, so you don't have to start a call for that.
Wow, that's really great. And so, look, I've come from a smaller medium business thing, and one of the apps that really has been loved with some of the types of businesses I work with is Staff Hub. And it's a great capability for managing shifts, but I've heard that that's something now that's being embraced in Microsoft Teams.
That is correct. We also announced that we're bringing all of the first-line worker capabilities that we today have in Staff Hub, that we're bringing them into Teams. So to really bring it all together and to make Teams an even stronger and more powerful hub for teamwork for first-line workers as well. And the first two capabilities that we're starting with is schedule management. So when you think about first-line workers, what is really important for them is when do I actually have to work and what do I have to do, right? And so now, or in the future, in a few couple of weeks, you will be able as a first-time worker to actually see your schedule in Microsoft Teams. You can request a shift, you can also swap shifts, and we will have both a manager as well as an end-user view so that the manager can also then approve requests, for example. We're also introducing a new home landing experience, specifically on mobile, that will give first-line workers all kind of a view with all the most important information for them of the day. So on that new home experience, you will be able to see your schedule, when do you have to work. You will also be able to see announcements from your company, and you will also be able to see who else is working at the same time as you are.
That's really going to become the important collaboration space for those frontline workers. But that's easy to imagine in something like retail, where you might have people working different shifts in a coffee shop. What about some industries like healthcare, for example, where they're looking to manage shifts, but they've also got some really heavy regulation and compliance needs in there too?
Yes, this is definitely an area where we're just getting started, right? Because when you think about Microsoft Teams, we have built it as an extensible platform. This means on the one hand, you can customize it, and you can also not just bring in third-party apps, but you can also bring in your first line of business apps. But what we're also working on is to really make Teams more powerful for the different industries, because every industry has different requirements, as you just said. So specifically for customers in regulated industries, we announced some new messaging capabilities, including image annotation. So when you snap actually a picture with your Microsoft Teams app on the phone, and then you cannot just annotate an image, so make some kind of like mark things up on that image, but also we have set it in a way that that picture will actually not be stored on your device, because from a compliance perspective, that is very often not allowed in a regulated industry. We also announced that we're bringing priority notifications to Teams. Let's say you work in a hospital, right? When you work in a hospital, it is very important when let's say I'm a nurse, and I send her, you're a doctor now, I sent you a notification, right? And I really need you to pay attention to my notification, to my message.
Yeah, I get lots of them anyway.
And you get a lot of messages every day, right? And so if I send it with priority, that means that that message will actually be tagged to the top of your screen, and you will get a ping every 2 minutes for up to 20 minutes to make sure that you see this message. And of course, these are capabilities that can be helpful for customers, not just in regulated industries or not just in healthcare, but also in other fields. So these are actually capabilities that we are making available to all customers.
Look, it's great to see the investment in the platform for sure. But I come from a world of managing IT systems. I'm a systems admin and IT pro by trade. So what are you doing to try and make my job easier so that I can help empower my business?
Yeah, that's my area, right? Where I'm most excited about, because that's my background, IT pro and administration.
Yeah.
And we had so many announcements yesterday that I was so super excited about. So if you did not see the general session on teamwork, I can hurriedly encourage you to watch it, because in there we showed all the capabilities. And so there are just a few that I really want to call out. On the one hand, we announced yesterday that DLP, data loss prevention, for chat and channel messages will soon be coming to Teams. And you're all pretty familiar probably with DLP, which is a feature that enables you to make sure that sensitive information doesn't get into the wrong hands. Let's just go back to our healthcare example,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
If doctors, when they share messages over chat, they share a lot of sensitive information, like
absolutely.
health records. And that is information that you don't want to leak outside of your company, for example. And if you create a DLP policy, you will soon be able to specify Teams chat and channel messages as a location, so that when somebody sends a message that contains that sensitive information, then after a few minutes, our DLP policy will kick in, and then that message will actually be blocked. What we also announced are new Microsoft Teams administration roles. In the past, super excited about that,
This
because in the past, when you wanted somebody in your organization to manage Microsoft Teams, then you actually had to give them global admin rights.
Yeah.
And that was, of course, often a challenge for a lot of companies. Now we announced that we're adding new team-specific admin roles, which are actually available for all of you today, in the AD Admin Center, so you can assign them to users that should be managing Microsoft Teams in your organization. We also announced that you will soon be able to manage membership of teams
Right.
that are based on dynamic Office 365 groups.
Oh, wow.
So Office 365 groups with a dynamic membership rule, which means that their membership is managed or is automatically updated based on the AD information of a user.
So that's going to make it a
jump
lot
in.
easier when somebody's onboarding, or whether they're switching departments within an organization. It's automatically going to update their membership, and they're going to be able to access the teams that they need to access for their new roles.
Exactly. Let's say I have a team that I use for all my employees in Seattle, right? And then if HR updates the information in AD for a person to Seattle as a location, then that person will automatically be a member of that team that is based on that specific Office 365 group.
Yeah, that's great. And the other thing that I really liked in the announcements was the ability to template teams. So if you've got a team structure that's working really well, and we like how the channels are set up, the apps, the tabs, and the settings, we can now set that as a template, and we can apply that when we create new teams too.
Correctly.
Yeah, great. Look, so many cool things. I think, it's an amazing just to see the investment in Microsoft Teams. It's certainly growing. You have the honor of being the fastest growing business application in Microsoft's history, with around 329,000 active customers using the product. So it's a great achievement for you and the team for sure. So thank you so much, Anne. We really appreciate your time here. Stay tuned for more coverage from Microsoft Ignite. We're here with Channel 9 Live throughout the event.